Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francis podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. We come to you on this Wednesday of what will be a crazy couple of days here. It's been wild with the Knicks, obviously, and the Knicks response has been overwhelming. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. When you realize they have already broken records on selling championship merchandise, and that's only a couple of days. I mean, you see the lines in the city for stuff. I mean, this is the craze right now. You got the parade tomorrow, which they say will be the biggest parade in New York history. I don't know how many people we need to define that, but there's going to be a lot of people in the city. We know that. You got all the soccer stuff, which a lot of people care about. Okay, I might not care about it. You might not care about it, but a lot of people care about it. Uh, Harrison watches it. He watches it all the time. He knows who's on the teams. I know nothing about soccer, absolutely nothing. But it's a big event, obviously, and it causes a lot of mass confusion in the city. On top of that, you got the U.S. Open, which starts tomorrow at Shinnecock in Southampton. And if you know the Hampton area, you go out there at all. If you know Long Island going towards the Hamptons at any busy time is a nightmare to begin with. Traveling in the summer from anywhere past Remsenburg into West Hampton and then into the Hamptons, anywhere out there, the traffic is insane. And going from south towards east, you might as well pack a lunch. I mean, that's all there is to it. The only way to live out there is, first, you got to have a lot of money. Secondly, you either have to have your own plane, which puts you in a very small group, or you got to stay out there the whole summer because you can't travel. It's just unbelievable how bad the traffic is. Then you add an event like this, which just bottles up everything. Okay. It's chaos. So wall-to-wall events, wall-to-wall people. Right now, let's deal with the U.S. Open, one of the great American sporting events. Always ends on Father's Day, which is this Sunday. They play it into the evening. They do a great job, NBC. They give you a lot of coverage. I mean, you can watch this golf tournament, the American Championship, played on one of the greatest historic courses in America, as most of the U.S. Opens are. This is one of their favorites. Matter of fact, a lot of guys think this is the best test of American golf there is Shinnecock. It's a course that's right near the ocean. It's between the Peconic Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. So wind is a factor, weather's a factor. It's like a links course. It has no trees. Okay, it's very much like a course you would see across the Atlantic. And it's one of the great tests in all of golf. And we know at times, if you know the history of Shinnecock, you know that lightning greens are a big part of it. And the greens can sometimes get out of control. The USGA is doing everything they can to control the speed of the greens this week. Now, they say the greens are softer than they have been historically. They're expecting some rain tomorrow. And they are going to try to control speed, especially when the winds are up. So they are working to not have what they've had in the past when number 7 was unplayable. Okay. There are some brutal holes on this course. Number 11, I mean, I can get down a list. I mean, this is an incredible test of golf. Even for the great golfers, very good chance that the score might be even par or 1 or 2 under. This is not a course where anybody's going 20 under par, okay? Especially if the winds blow. And the winds are going to blow. And there's a big difference. If you know anything about the ocean, or you've ever been near the ocean, or you've been brought up near the ocean, you understand this. In the morning, it can be dead calm. At noon, a subtle breeze might start to blow through. And then by 3 or 4 o'clock, you can have 30-mile-an-hour winds. So playing at 8 o'clock in the morning, and play starts tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the morning. Play in the morning can give you a big-time advantage over the afternoon, where you might be facing 25-mile-an-hour winds and gusts up to 35 miles an hour. Okay? Everybody plays morning and afternoon. You might catch a break where you get a subtle afternoon. It can happen. It doesn't happen very often when you're that close to the ocean. Uh, that's a big factor. So the winds, the weather, the softness of the greens, and the U.S. Open trying to control the speeds of the greens are going to play into this weekend's play. Now, the other story here is Scottie Scheffler going for the Grand Slam. I I think too much is made of these. Now, I understand winning all four majors is an incredible achievement, and very few golfers have ever done it. A lot of great golfers have never done it. Some of the greatest golfers who ever lived did not win all four majors. It's not the Grand Slam in the same years, which is what the accomplishment is, but winning the career Grand Slam matters. Obviously, Rory spent 10 years trying to win the Masters to complete his Grand Slam. Scheffler said it's something he never thought of. Okay. The other thing is to try, if you're Scheffler or Rory, to get to 10 majors, which would put you as only the fourth player in history and pass a lot of the all-time greats. Only Jack, Tiger, and I think Walter Hagen or Harry Vardon. One of the two is the other one that's the third that has 11. Tiger has 15. Jack has 18, obviously. Getting the double digits for Rory or for Scottie would be an incredible achievement. So that's what's on the plate for Scottie this week. But here's the thing. He's still a heavy favorite, which I'll get to in a minute when I give you the BetRivers numbers on who's favored to win this week. But let's be honest. I've been a huge Scottie Scheffler fan for years because I caught him on the way up. I started betting him, and he started winning week after week after week. And so he became my guy. And I like Scottie Scheffler a lot. And I know he's not the most exciting player in the world, but I like watching him. Okay. He's the best player in the world. It's not even close. But right now, for whatever reason, whether you buy that he is cocking his wrist at the top of his swing, whatever it may be and I'm not a golf expert on the swing. I'm not a technical guy. I'm a field golfer. I don't take lessons. I've learned how to play, and I don't break down the swing. Now, my wife can do that unbelievably. She's very technical. She works with coaches. She can do that, and she can see a little flaw in a swing. I can't see anything in a golf swing. The bottom line, they say clearly something's off. Although he's still consistent, and he has finished in the top 25 in 32 straight tournaments, which is absurd. But he's not winning this year like he has prolifically the last couple of years. He's only won one tournament this year. That was early in the season. He's lost some very tough heartbreakers. He's finished second, obviously, in the Masters. He's finished second in some big tournaments. He's lost a playoff. The bottom line is he's just playing well for anybody, but not Scottie Scheffler-like of the last few seasons. So considering that and the toughness of the U.S. Open course, I don't think Scottie's going to hit enough fairways this week to win. Now, they can call it a second shot golf course. They call everything a second shot golf course now. But you know what? The second shot's only a second shot golf course if you put the ball in the fairway. If you don't put the ball in the fairway, it's not a second shot golf course because you're not getting there in two. These fairways are sizable, but with the wind, it makes it tough to hit them. And positioning is also part of it, which part of the fairway you want to hit to give you a chance towards these very, very tricky and very, very hard to deal with greens. There's a lot around the greens at Shinnecock. You might have a surface that looks like a pretty big surface to land the ball, except on only 22% of it are you going to hold the green. That's the issue. They're very misleading, and they're very tricky. So, and they can be incredibly diabolical, to be honest with you. That's just the way it is. Now, Scottie Scheffler has been as low as 3-1 on tournaments. He's 5.5-1 for this tournament, which shows you that he's just not winning with the regularity he has before. Rory's 12-1. Rahm, who is always a threat, and is probably on his way back here with all the live players because Liv's going away eventually. I don't know how they're going to bring all the players back in. I don't know what the penalty is going to be for all those guys. There's going to have to be some penalty before they come back, but there's going to be anywhere else for them to play because Liv's going to go away. Fleetwood's 18-1. Schauffele's 18-1. He always plays well at the U.S. Open. Fitzpatrick, who's a U.S. Open player and a great putter, is 20-1. Matt Fitzpatrick. Cameron Young, 22-1. Oberg, 22-1, although he always seems to find a way not to win. Koepka, who has won the U.S. Open twice, won it back-to-back years. Not the same player anymore, though. DeChambeau, who right now is not playing well. And then you're up to the 35 guys, Henley, Burns, and then from there, the 40 guys, Hatton, Wendell Clark, Cantley, Goddard, Reed, Rose, Thomas, Hovland. I mean, if you like Victor Hovland, he's 50-1. If you like Thomas, he's 50-1. You like last year's winner, J.J. Spawn, he's 55-1. You want someone like Cameron Smith, he's 66-1. Matsuyama, 66-1. All the way up to Keegan Bradley at 100-1. Sepp Straka at 100-1. Gary Woodland, a former winner, at 100-1. Dustin Johnson, who doesn't seem to do anything anymore, 125-1. Ricky Fowler, 125-1. All the way up to, the longest shots on the board. Now, here's what I think's going to happen. Watch Scheffler's first round, because in these tournaments, the biggest problem for him has not been that he hasn't had good rounds. It's been that he's gotten off to terrible starts. He's had very bad opening rounds. So he's found himself way back, and he hasn't been able to make it up. That's been the problem for him. So watch what he does in the first round. He's playing at 8:41 tomorrow morning. The first round is 6:30. The first notables are out, I think, at 7:30. I think that's Koepka. 6:30 they go off, and I think Scottie's out at 8:41 tomorrow. First round will be very, very telling. Now, I have three guys for you. One is my pick. I think he's the soundest pick at a solid price. He always plays well at this tournament. Xander Schauffele. That's who I'm picking to win at 18-1. I'm not picking Scheffler this week. This will be the week he bites me, goes off and wins by 10. I would be happy to watch that, but I'm not picking him this week. I just think he's off his game right now, and I need to see him back on his game before I'm picking him to win the U.S. Open. I think Fleetwood will play well, but I'm not picking him. My second choice, and these guys that I picked second and third, you can also bet to finish in the top 5, top 10, top 20. You can look at the odds. They're all favorable in those guys. To win, Sam Burns is 35-1. He's been playing very well of late. He's had his chances on Sunday in majors before. He's a great putter. He's playing very good golf. I think he's got a good chance at 35-1. And then Ryan Gerard has been very hot of late. I like what I've seen from him. I'm getting 90-1. I'm taking it on Ryan Gerard. They got him here, I see, at 80-1. I saw him at 90. Bet Rivers has him at 80. That's my third guy. You can also take him top 10. You're going to get a very generous price. Top 20, you're going to get a very generous price. So you can take him across the board. You can take Burns at 35-1 across the board, and then you can take Xander Schauffele to win at 18-1. So 1, 2, 3, Schauffele 18-1. Burns 35-1. Ryan Gerard 80-1 for the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. If you have a chance to go out there, I would recommend it. It's an historic golf course. Now, I always say on Sunday, I wanna be in front of my television for golf without any question, because you need to watch everything, and you can't do that from a golf course. If you do it from a golf course, you're gonna be doing it on television because you can't be in 10 places at once, and you can't move around. So, you get a seat in one place in front of a hole and watch everybody come through, or you can walk with a guy who isn't a megastar. If you try to walk with a megastar, you're gonna be 6 or 7 deep unless you're talking about, a Scottie Scheffler or a Rory or a guy like that, then you're not even getting close. So, it's hard to do that. The bottom line is golf is better on television, and even the guys who cover it watch it on television anyway because you have to. There's no otherwise there's no way to watch the tournament. You don't know what's going on. You could follow one guy, and you can do that for 9 holes, or you can do that on Thursday. You can't do it to cover the whole tournament. It's just impossible. So that's the way golf is the best place for it is put your feet up on Sunday, on Father's Day, you know, have them throw you whatever you get. I'm sure plenty of you are going to get Nick hats, Nick t-shirts, Nick jackets, Nick sweatshirts, all with championship logos on them. Dolan's making the money hand over fist, over hand over fist. They are selling out. You see the lines in the city at the stores. You know that stuff costs in those stores? You know how much they get for that merch? Man, they are making an absolute fortune. I saw how many caps they were selling. I don't know what the cap sells for. I don't know if it's $35 or $40 or $25. I don't know what the cap costs. I don't wear caps. I don't buy caps. I don't wear anything with team logos on it anyway. I never have. You never see me in something with a team logo on it. I mean, ever. I mean, I don't do it. Okay, so and I have no problem with it, but it's just I don't think it's just proper for me to do. So I don't do it. Um, and I don't like hats anyway. If it's scalding out, I'll wear one of the hats from one of the, I'll go in and get a hat from one of the clubs I belong to and just wear it that day. Get a white hat and go out because I don't want to get sun on my head for 3.5, 4 hours when the sun's beating down on you because that's just stupid. And my dermatologist will yell at me. But I don't like wearing hats. So it's not something I do. So, but I can't believe, I mean, I thought they sold a lot of Yankee hats after they win the World Series. Man, this is crazy what's going on with these Knick hats are everywhere. I mean, I can't believe how much stuff they're selling. I drove by a roadside stand. Now, I don't know if this was bootleg stuff or what, it probably was, but they had a big table set up at a gas station on Long Island. I drove by it yesterday at 9:30 in the morning, and there were 20 or 30 people buying stuff. This is on the side of the road at a gas station, an impromptu setup table that had all kinds of Nick t-shirts and hats, and I'm sure it was bootleg stuff, but the point is these people were buying it hand over fist. I mean, they can't make this stuff fast enough. The appeal of this team has even been surprising. Forget that and because I even see them playing the clip that I said about 40 years ago about how no team captures the city like the Knicks do when they're good. And it's true. And I think you've seen it now. And there's reasons for that. And I've explained them before. But this year, the country bought in. This was the highest rated series since the Bulls and the Jazz in '98. This series was double last year's series in terms of ratings. Double. The NBA ratings were off the charts for the Knicks. Absolutely off the charts. And then you find out that they are on their way to selling more championship merchandise after a victory than any team in the history of American professional sports. There was a report on that yesterday in, I think it was Front Office Sports that, I get that they send me that, and it's a lot of business stuff, and they had that yesterday, and I'm like, "More than the Yankees? More than the '96 Yankees? More than the Giants when they won? More than the Patriots?" You see Patriot stuff everywhere. More than any team in the history of American sport. This team is a craze. It really is. And the way they're building up the parade, I mean, when you turn on the local news and they have a clock to how many hours it is to start the parade, I mean, they can't get enough of this. And it's comical when you watch these regular reporters out there talking about the basketball team because they have no idea what they're talking about. But it doesn't matter. They're covering the event. And tomorrow is an event. The parade. And listen, it's a short parade down the Canyon of Heroes, and then they go to City Hall, and you're only getting into City Hall if you got a ticket, because that the way they have City Hall set up with the guys on the stage with the seats, and they'll come up and talk. There's very few people who can fit into that area. You maybe they'll put speakers blocks away, but the odds are getting in real close. You have to watch it on television. Because they're talking about millions of people being, lining the streets tomorrow. And I'm sure every kid in the suburbs who's got his Knick jersey, and I know when I picked my kids up, I mean, watching these people pour off the train in Knick garb at midnight, I mean, it went on forever. They're all going to be on the train tomorrow morning into the city going to the parade. Now, parades are different now. You got to bring in the ticket tape. In the old days, they used to have ticket tape, and they used to have a lot of paper in office buildings. They don't have paper in office buildings anymore, as you know. So now you have to manufacture the paper and bring it in so you can throw it. I mean, it's a whole different world, but that's how a ticket tape parade works now. They don't even call it a ticket tape parade anymore. But down the Canyon of Heroes they go, and there's going to be a lot of people there tomorrow. And at the same time, the U.S. Open is already going to be underway out at Shinnecock tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. So it is going to be a very, very busy morning. Now, a couple of names that are the hot names this week as far as winning the Open. There's not a lot of talk about Scottie because he's been in a slump. There's not a lot of talk about Rory. There's even not that much buzz about Rahm. There's talk about Henley at 35-1. He's one of the now guys now. You hear and talk about him. There's a lot of talk about Wyndham Clark at 40-1. You hear his name a lot now as one of the now guys. So there's a couple of names. I think Scheffler is a popular name at 18-1 because he's a guy that always seems to be there at the U.S. Open. And he's got a game that works there. He really does. And bottom line is, it's just a little different feel because I think the door is open for other players because Scottie's just off his game. 2 years ago or last year, you expected Scottie to win every big event. And it's not like like I said, it's not like he's playing terribly. I mean, other golfers give their right arm for the year he's had this year. But this is Scottie Scheffler. And he has become a prolific winner in the last couple of years. Prolific. And this year, he struggled, especially on opening rounds, which will be interesting to watch tomorrow morning. Now, once again, Xander Schauffele 18-1, Burns 35-1, Gerard 80-1. We'll come back on the weekend on Saturday, see where we are halfway through, and we'll pick it up. Enjoy that. Enjoy the parade, and we'll see you later.